Hi and welcome to turn 3 of 4 in the second mission for the Marines at Peleliu in GMT's Fields of Fire 2. This is the Japanese counterattack, and they've been counterattacking. And turn 3 of 4, we just have to keep the Japanese from this row here, doing a reasonably good job of it. Really, we've scattered and killed a lot of the infantry. We've destroyed a tank, and the good news on turn 3 is there's no more potential contact markers. So this is all the Japanese that are going to appear. So brilliant. We have, of course, this new batch which appeared here, which we aren't firing at because we're too busy firing at the turn 1's contacts here, so we're going to have to do a shift fire. But anyway, let's crack on with the turn, and it'll start with the Japanese HQ draw. Let's have a look. We do have an HQ, and I suppose that's one thing that could throw a spanner in the works. It's been going quite well so far. So yeah, let's see what comes up. Right, so we've got our higher headquarters events chart here, and we're looking at the 2 column here. So just the first 4 available to happen. Let's have a look. Do our randomizer on 10, and we get a 2. 2 is the first line. So the first line is evacuate casualties. All casualties on non-US occupied cards are removed. Well, yeah, okay, not that fussed anyway. So could have been a lot worse, but let's just do that. So we are removing all these casualty markers. Not quite sure we're missing anything here because I'm not proposing to move up there anytime soon. So fine, yep, we go with that, and then we've got the enemy activity phase. So obviously what we will get is we will get activity markers on the tanks for the vehicle phase, and we need to roll to see what our 2 squads up here and the squad up here, and then we have a pinned squad and team here. Actually, there's quite a lot of infantry there. Now you count it up. But let's see what they do. If we go left to right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to who we check first. So on 5 we have number 1. So that's the pinned squad here. So we're looking on the pin table. See what they're going to do, and as before, we check down from the top, and we are pinned. We are not under cover, so we are on this chart here. There is no leader, so it's a randomizer of 5, and putting them next, we have number 1. Number 1 is no action, so they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, and let's randomize the others. So 1 underneath, 2, 3, 4. Not sure the order really matters, but 3, 4 is 2. Number 2, which is this squad back here. So he isn't pinned, he's not under fire, and not under cover. So we're running down here. It's not a fire team. It's, oh, hang on, silly me. We're not on that chart. We are on the offensive chart because he's not pinned. So we are running on overrun. So it's not pinned. Same card. That's interesting, actually, that we do have a pinned chart here, which is not part of the pinned. So maybe we should have been using this. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should have been on here. That wouldn't have made any difference for the first one anyway. That was a number 1, so it would have been no action. Anyway, back to where we are here. Not on the same card. It's not a big VOF unit, and all other situations. So all other situations is on a 3. So on a 3, we have number 1, and number 1 is infiltrate towards closest US unit. So he's here, so the closest US unit is, I suppose it would be this one, really. He's going to be heading this way, so he will try and infiltrate. He could try and infiltrate here or here. And I think in preference, because there's VOS here, mind you, he's infiltrating. Let's see which card he goes. Let's randomize it. So 1, 2, 3 across, and we have card 3. So he infiltrates here, and infiltration, he's being line. He's got 2 cards looking for the silhouette symbol, and we don't get that, so he is exposed. Right, that's sorted him out, and he's done. So we're left with the team here and the 2 squads here. Randomizing again on a 3 is number 2, so that's the first squad over here. And we're looking at our overrun tactics here again, and I think we're probably on the bottom chart again. We're on a 3 here, so let's look at that. And on a 3, we are on number 3. Number 3 is advance straight ahead. So that's just move. So he's just going to move to there with an exposed marker, just for company. Here we go. Again, still not under 5, but will be under 5 from the grazing coming across here for the machine guns. Be interesting. I just realised I haven't probably cleaned up some. No, those are pinned markers. I thought they might be exposed markers, but they're not. Nope, those should be there. And we're left with team and the other squad on a 2, and we are on 2. So this other squad, same chart again, so we're on a 3, and a 3 is a 3, so he advances straight ahead as well. So they're both charging. It's not entirely unexpected, let's face it. And finally the team, who is pinned, and I think we'll use this new chart up here, which I hadn't noticed. He's not undercover, he is pinned. Oh, it's on a US occupied card. So he's not on a US occupied card, so that's irrelevant. I think we should still really go on here. Yeah, I'm going to stick with this one, I think. So he is pinned, not undercover. Yeah, he's here. So, yeah, we will look on 5. 5 is a 1, and a 1 is no action. So he will keep doing what he's doing. Right, that's the activity check. So we know we've got a couple of squads running at us here. Tank behind. Tank still here, which is buttoned up. And some pinned units here. So they're coming at us, and it's our command phase. So traditionally, of course, it's the CO HQ pull. That's a 4. We are engaged, so we don't get a bonus, but he's veteran, so that becomes a 5. And let's move the HQ marker to 5. And what's he going to do? Well, let's have a look here. So he is, I believed, here. He is actually pinned. So I think the first thing he really needs to do is unpin himself. So let's do that. He will rally, and he's veteran, so 3 cards. And let's see. Actually, I'm just thinking he is, when he being pinned means he does get a -1. And also he's under fire with pinned. Pin doesn't do anything. So actually he's only got 4 commands rather than the 5. And yeah, so unpinning, he's a veteran. So we're looking for the word rally, and straight off we got rally there, which is very good. So we take that off and he can now do stuff. Okay, so first thing to do, I think, is who can he activate here? Not many. I think we need to activate the Shermans, so certainly he'll be moving across. That incoming should disappear at the by the time we get to the combat phase, so I'm not worried about that. And we have nothing coming in on this row, so it's probably a good place to be. I think he'll activate the gunnery sergeant, certainly. And that's another command. Then one more command to move here, and then one command to order the tank platoon. So tank platoon here. Yeah, that's I think what we'll do. So that's the HQ, the COHQ's activation. So we're then on to the activation phase for the other HQ. So we have tank platoon and gunnery sergeant. So the tank platoon, we will draw on line, and I don't believe, no, they're not pinned or anything, so tank platoon will get a 4, so that's a 4 adding up to 9, but then we will activate the 2 tanks, and the maximum we can save is 6, so he'll just go back to 6, and we have our activations registered here. All in good, that's them done. And now we have the gunnery sergeant, who does draw. Normally, if he's on initiative, he gets 1 point, but now he does draw. He is veteran. He is under fire, so we're just on a straight number, and the number is 4. So he gets 4 commands. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5. And he will, I think, attempt to unpin some of this stuff here, because it's going to be meeting these guys very shortly. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we will rally the machine gun unit, certainly, and probably the squad. So machine gun first, and the first or the second, I think, is a veteran unit. And that's correct, it is. So with the rally we have 3 cards, and again we're looking for our rally. So we have a blank, there we have the rally, focus there, and another blank. So we rallied the machine gun unit, which is great, and then we've got the squad underneath, which what have we got here that's pinned? The paralysed unit. Yeah, I think we will attempt to rally the squad. The squad is 3rd of 1st platoon. 3rd platoon of... Really? I thought 1st platoon was back here. Yeah, it's definitely 3rd of 1st platoon. Well, that's a bit odd. Why have I got that there? Well, that's got me wondering about that, because I've got 3rd of 1st platoon down here in the reserve. This should have been, I believe it's 2nd platoon's area. Was it 3rd platoon's area? Let's go and search for our HQ. It's 3rd platoon's area. So just checking where our 2nd squad's there. 3rd squad's there. So this is 1st squad of 3rd platoon. That's the wrong counter. Okay, that's me mixing things up. He shouldn't be there. Just need a small adjustment here. I'll just try and find the right squad. Okay, here he is. Yep, had the wrong counter here. It's anyway, it's 1st of 3rd platoon, which is line. So we have 2 draws here for rallying. Looking for the rally, and bingo, we got the rally. So all well and good, exception being the paralysed unit, which I'm not sure I need to bother particularly on. So he had 5. We've now done two commands here. What else would the gunnery sergeant do? Before I forget, we do need to put an exposed marker on the company HQ for moving. I'm not sure he has to move or do anything more than this, so that's probably going to be under pressure there, so I think I'll save the commands. So our commands here, we have 3 left, so turn him over, and then we're on to the initiative. So let's run across here. For convenience sake, the MG platoon. MG platoon is, I think he was over here, but we lost him, didn't we? Did we not? Yes, we lost the MG platoon HQ, so that's actually irrelevant. We should really take that off until we reconstitute him, because he's no longer there. So to 1st platoon here. Again, I'm going to hold in reserve for the last turn, possibly, in case there's some really horrible things going on. So they'll just bank the points, which is 2 points. This platoon will go up to 6, so ready and waiting to go. Mortar section. The mortar section HQ is back here, and it's really being a conduit for piling, possibly piling some mortars up here. So actually, that's an idea. I might wind this back. Yes, the gunnery sergeant, actually, I will take one of his orders, and the order will be for the mortar section HQ to get that mortar to fire on that spot. Now, interesting thing about mortars, on-map mortars in this game, is that normally we can only fire straight lines or diagonals, with the exception of mortars. When mortars are doing what's known as an indirect lay, i.e. they're firing up in the air and down, they can fire anything within their range, but they can do kind of a knight's move, so they can actually fire here, not just there and here from this spot. Yeah, we can put a marker down, I believe, for the on-map mortar. I think when we do an indirect lay, we will end up with an incoming. Let me just check that. No, I was wrong. All you do is you put heavy weapons VOF on that chart, on that card. So the mortars are coming down, and they cause an H on that card. So great. Wind forward again. Sorry, just now that I notice where the mortar section HQ is and doing. So yeah, so he So the gunnery sergeant is ordering the mortar section HQ to get the mortar unit to fire. So essentially the radio that the mortar section is using is being used to order it. So yeah, let's do our initiative. And our initiative dial is draw is a 2, and we will leave it there. I don't think we need to do anything else. I mean, to be honest, he's not doing anything other than being somebody who's holding a radio for the mortar team. Okay, second platoon. Let's just switch the gunnery sergeant. He should be down another command, shouldn't he? Yes. So put him there. Second platoon. Oh, just off camera. Second platoon here. Second platoon is in this area. I think the HQ is not doing very well at the moment. Somewhere might be pinned. Or not actually. I wonder where he is. There's our. He's possibly. Must be somewhere. It's not here. Oh, second platoon HQ is actually off the board. Sorry, there's been a bit of a gap since last turn, so I hadn't realised the second platoon isn't actually around, so I would have to reconstitute it. So nothing happening for second platoon HQ. Gunnery sergeant's already gone, so we're on first sergeant, which gets a point, and first sergeant is in reserve as well, so no need to do anything with him. And we find we have XO, the XO here. We'll give him a point. And I think potentially I think the best thing to do maybe would be to order the bazooka unit here, so therefore he could get a shot onto that that tank if it advances. So I think he will do that. Yeah. And that's exposed. That's one of the commands. And possibly a shift fire. I'm just wondering, should we fire off a pyrotechnic here? So a shift fire would be green, the green star cluster. No, it's smoke instead. Oh, it's the parachute. No. I've got my parachutes and clusters mixed up. There are 2 parachutes and 2 clusters. So this guy's parachute, green star parachute, is shift fire. So we will fire that here, and that will mean that everybody can see that. So so the PDFs will come off from our side, and then they will be reapplied. So that's another XO command. I think we'll finish him there. So the PDF's coming back. These guys, of course, will be firing this way because that's the biggest threat. These guys, again, either one of those. Well, they were shift firing on that, so shift fire would be here, I believe. These guys would be firing here, and so would these. So that does mean that this comes off, we have an automatic weapons fire here with a crossfire coming into this point here, and I believe we crossfire moves off there, and we have automatic weapons coming in here. That's the shift fire that we've done, and now we're on to third platoon. And third platoon, our HQ still does exist. I think he's under here. He is pinned, so I think he will have a look at his initiative 2, which I believe will go down to a 1 because he's pinned. So he has 1 command, and I think he'll spend 1 command only, and he will attempt to unpin himself under line. So he's got 2 cards, and we're looking for rally. We've got a reshuffle. We did get a rally, and of course another card. 2 rallies, in fact. So yeah, he's up for that. Let's remove that pinned marker, and let's reshuffle. Okay, so that's all our HQs done with. We just have the general initiative unmodified is a 3. It's interesting. One thing I thought might be an idea is to get this anti-tank gun to rally. So yeah, I'll do that. It's a line unit. So on fire team, actually it's green on a fire team, so therefore it's just 1 card, but I think it's worth a try, as we've got 3 commands. So we didn't get the rally. Oh well. What else can we do? We've got anybody here that's to be able to do very much. At the moment, we've just got a fire team coming out here. I think maybe the machine gun. That automatic weapon shouldn't be there. It should be small arms at the moment, because the machine gunners down here are pinned. Let's see, as the second. These are veterans as well, so we'll try and unpin them for our second. Oh, and that's 3 cards now. Looking for rally. So blank, cover, and oh, we've missed all the rallies here, I'm afraid. Nothing much is happening here. And so that pin didn't work. We may as well try for one of these squads, I think, because this is the pressure point now. Rally one of these squads. Top one is 3rd of the 2nd, which is line. 2nd of the 2nd is line as well, so top one is fine. 2 cards for them. So blank and our good old reshuffle, so 1 more out of contact. So nope, that's not happening either. And we need to do another reshuffle. Right, that's reshuffled. Earlier on, I think I was talking about grazing fire here. However, these aren't tripod mounted machine guns, so we don't actually get grazing fire. But anyway, I think we've with the shift fire, that's all taken care of now anyway. So that's our command phase done. Next is the mutual retreat and capture phase. I'm not sure I have any unpinned units to retreat, so I don't think anything happening there. And then we're on to our vehicle phase. And so yeah, let's get on with that. Right, so Japanese go first. So let's see who activates first. 1 and 2 on the randomizer, and it's number 1. So it's our pinned chap here. So So as I understand it, the instructions that I found was to advance and also fire its grenade, its little gun, which is a version of a grenade launcher. So therefore it will move forward, or here. As it moves forward, it will suffer the small arms fire here. And just checking we've got all our modifiers correct. So we have a +2 for small arms, and the tank itself has defensive value of -2, so that's a 0. It is a moving target, so that's a +1. I think that's all we have to do, really. Yeah, I think small arms are +2. Just having a look here. Actually, yeah, I was assuming it's a +3. So +3, -2 for the defensive value of the tank, and then +1 for moving. So it it ends up at +2. So we roll the anti-tank. It's not actually a bad number. We could get a low number here, and could have some effect here. So small arms fire as it's moving. 80 of 4, +2 is a 6. I believe that's a miss. 6 or more is a miss, but only just. What we could also do is, as it moves, we get a reaction fire from our tank here. So I think we will do that, which will burn his activation, but he will fire on the tank, and this should be a lot more effective. So a Sherman at close range is a +0. The defensive value of the Japanese tank is -2. It's moving, so which is +1. So we have a -1 roll here. That may be very effective. Oh, and the tank is pinned. I think that possibly has an effect as well. A target is pinned is -1. That may have affected last turn. Yeah, last turn would have been a 5, which is pinned, so it would remain pinned. This is, let's recalculate it again. So it's a 0 from the Sherman, -2 for the tank defense, it's -2, +1 for moving, it's -1, and then -1 for pin, so it's -2. So this could be a really good shot here. And let's see if we get him. It's a 4 -2 is a 2. I think that's good enough. And a 2 is he retreats. Yeah, that means that he leaves. He runs away. So we've beaten off that tank. That tank leaves. We didn't kill it, but it did leave. We needed a 1 to knock it out. Well, that's all and good. That's fine. That's the Sherman kind of done his job. And that's all that the Japanese tank can do is retreat. Good. Next, we've got one of our activations. Now, we've only got 2 activations, and this guy has already fired. So here, I think we would like to fire on this tank here. I believe we should be able to fire through. This is open ground. It's LOS. Let me just check on the rules on that. No, I don't believe anything would stop it firing here. However, what you should do is resolve a VOF on the firing unit's card before it gets to fire, a bit like what happened with the movement here. So therefore we have an all pinned. However, I haven't updated the PDFs, and these guys, who would they fire at? Just make sure which one is the one they're going to go for. So we'll randomize that on 3, and on 3 we have 3. So they are actually firing in this direction, not straight ahead. So therefore, yeah, it's not being fired at all. Yes. Oh no, they are still all pinned. The reason being is it's these guys over here which are firing into here. So yeah, we have all pinned here. So as we were, sorry about the waffling, +4 here, +2 is +6. That hasn't got an effect. And actually, at this point, I don't think I've said it yet, but last turn, I did actually not resolve against this tank, which was again all pinned, but +6 gets you a miss automatically, because the lowest card you can get is a 0, +6, and that's, well, that's your lot. It's automatically a miss. I don't think the defensive value of the shown is a 0 as well, so there's no need to resolve it effectively. I suppose for the cards we should resolve it, but that's a 4 + 6 is 10, no need. So we are firing this Sherman at this tank here, and that's at long range. Long range for the Sherman is a +1. And the tank's defensive value is -2. It's not moving at the moment, so we're on a -1, and it's not pinned. I think that's about it. So we're on a -1 shot. Let's do that one. -1, so that becomes a 2, and a 2 I think is a retreat again. Yeah, so that tank has had enough and goes away. Good enough for me. I'm happy with that. So that's the armoured counter-attack taken care of. We've beaten away 2 tanks and killed 1. Good. That's our activation done. They haven't got any other vehicles to activate, so that's the vehicle phase. And we're on to the combat phase. We take away the incomings. Thank you very much. And then there's no PC markers to deal with, so we're just on the combat itself. There is now nothing on this card, so this is useless. We resolve, there's nothing on this card, so it's only these 2 cards to resolve on the American side, and this card, that shouldn't be a mutual, that should just be that way. Yeah, it should just be this card, I believe, for the Japanese. Looking at it, yes, yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's do the good news first. Let's just zoom in and have a look. So everything, all the combat was focused over here. Suddenly it seems to have switched across to this side. So let's do the good news first. We have a heavy weapons here from the mortar fire, from the mortars, is a -3. We have a -1 crossfire. It's a -4, and then these 2 units are exposed, so that's a -6, which is actually off the chart, but it'll get to be a -4. So the first squad, let's pull the card and look at -4. -4, unsurprisingly, is a hit, and the damage, they are line. The damage is L and C. So L is litter team, which doesn't affect the well, it's a fire team, and the C is a casualty. So we will remove that. We will put 2 fire teams. Let me just find some fire teams here. Okay, here we go. Fire teams, which are both pinned, of course, and a casualty. Good. And the second squad, again, we're on -4. -4 is a hit, of course. And on line, the damage is C and F. So that's casualty and fire team. So pretty much exactly the same thing happens here. So the squads break up, but we still have 2 fire teams available. here. So they are all pinned, and we have a second casualty. So we'll put that marker there. And well done, the mortars. Little protecting the infantry in front. Right, so let's just focus on the fire coming into our two cards here. We have an all pinned here, and an all pinned here. So fire coming diagonally across here. This means we should be able to actually remove pin markers from these. I don't think there's any others from these cards because there's no fire coming into them, which is welcome. But I say this particular card is a hell of a mess. Yeah, so let's do the actual the drawers here. Let's just put some lights on here just to give us a bit extra light here. The lights dropped a little bit. Right, that's a little better. It was starting to get a little dark here on the camera. Right, so all pinned here, which is of course a +2 to infantry. We'll start with the gunnery sergeant. He's the most important bloke here. And it's a +2 +4. He wasn't moving, so just on the +4 chart, +4 is a pin, and then we get to the bazooka here. So that's +2 now because it's +4 -2 for the exposed. So on the +2 side, +2 is actually a hit. Wow. Okay, line quality, and it's P, paralysed. Well, okay, so that puts paid to the bazooka. However, we seem to have got rid of the the tank anyway. So he was always in reserve, but. Okay, pretty effective fire so far for this all pinned. This paralysed unit's in +5. +5 is a miss, so that pinned marker goes. Did we do the... Yes, we did do the combat here. We just have a squad and the machine gun there. So the machine gun is at +4. +4 is a pin. Wow. Okay. And the squad below on +4 as well. Oh, it's a miss. Well, that's nice. Okay, so squad stands alone. We'll just rationalise the gunnery sergeant with the machine gunner here, and the paralysed unit, which was the bazooka team. So that's done. Well, we've still got the squad there, so that's something, I suppose. Okay, and over here, we have all pinned coming in here. So forward air controller, the EXO first, I think, and that's +2 +4 again. So +4 is a miss. That's nice. The forward air controller on a +4 is a miss. That's much better. And we have +5s for the platoon HQ here and the squad. So platoon HQ on +5 is a miss, and for the squad is a miss. So they're all okay, and we're left with our pinned units here, the squad and a litter team. So litter team on +5 is a miss, and the squad is a miss. So that pin, those pins get removed as well. So very much sort of successful in what was going on here. Good. All right. So now we just have some cleanups to do, and we remove our mortar heavy weapons fire there, and we've just got the one turn to go now. There was no fire onto these guys here, so they should be unpinned as well, and that exposed marker is removed as well. Right. Oh, hang on. We do have a PDF here. Which I didn't. Oh, I did place a small arms here, didn't I? I think I've messed that up here. So there should be some small arms fire here from that PDF. Yes. So not quite finished yet. Let's just see what happens over here. I think I removed a pin from here as well, which was on that stack. Yeah. Right, so with small arms we've got +3 on the machine gun, and a +3 is a pin. Great. We've got the anti-tank team, which is on +2. +2 is a miss. What have we got? Fire team, paralysed and litter team. So fire team is +2 is a miss. First paralysed is a miss on +2. Second paralysed is a miss. And finally we have the litter team, I think, on the bottom. Yeah. +2 is a pin. Okay, so we'll start building that stack over here, and we'll go to these units here, which are pinned. So they're on +3. So the squad at the top, +3. That's actually a hit. Wow, very impressive. So yeah, there's the two. We have a reshuffle for what the casualties are. The casualties are, and that squad, I believe the 3rd squad or 2nd platoon is a line squad, and we get a litter team. So we effectively break down that squad completely into a litter team and a fire team, and the fire team will inherit the smoke. Okay, so we have all these. So the next squad, we'll do the reshuffle first. Now reshuffle done, so our squad here, which was on +3, they're all pinned. +3 is pinned. The assault team and the paralysed. So the assault team on +3 is pinned, and the paralysed team is missed. Okay, so our paralysed team goes to join that stack, but this stack is all pinned. Yeah, including our machine gunners as well. Fine. So killed up there. Sorry, I messed that up. But I think that should be, yes, the end of the turn. We're all cleaned up. So right. Thanks for listening in and watching in for the 3rd turn. We've got the last turn to come. On the last turn, I think we've really only got threats from this bunch of teams here, which are all pinned, to see if they actually advance into row 1. Other than that, I think we're kind of clear, really, because these squads up here aren't going to make it down in time. It's only this set here which are going to cause us trouble. and yeah, so we should be okay for this this mission, I think. But let's see what turn 4 turns out, and until then, thanks for watching.